What is good, everyone? Welcome into NBA After Dark, the show where we break down what went down in the association after dark. It's simple. We got no rules. We got no boundaries. We have very little bias on this program. What we do have is one of the greatest debuts in NBA history, not hyperbole. VJ Edgecombe, the rookie out of Baylor, went off in a Philadelphia 76ers 117-116 win over the Boston Celtics. I'm talking went off. 34 points in the game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, was 5 of 13 from 3, took 26 shots in his first damn game. Are you kidding me? VJ Edgecombe was awesome, man. And the craziest part about it, he was overshadowed by Tyrese Maxey, who had 40 in the game. This is VJ Edgecombe, now the leader in a debut game in Philadelphia 76ers history. He overpassed Allen Iverson, who had 30 in his debut, and the 14 points from VJ Edgecombe, the most by an NBA rookie since LeBron James had 12 in his first quarter of play against the Kings way back in 2003. So Maxey 40, VJ Edgecombe 34, but I think the lead story from this game is Joel Embiid, who went 1 of 9, had 4 points, and at points in the game, literally looked like he couldn't really jump. Is Joel Embiid nearing the end, man?
Yeah, this might be the beginning of the end. And when I say that, I mean the last 2 seasons, the guy's played about 50 games total. He's 31 years old. We know the long list of injuries. And from an eye test perspective, I know he's rusty. I know he hasn't played basketball in a while. The guy looked cooked. I mean, it looked like he was 41, not 31. He wasn't jumping at all. I mean, talk about rim protection, 0. And it's really sad because we're talking about a generational talent. I know he's been riddled with injuries, but he's won 5 playoff series in his career, never advanced past the second round. And it really looks like this could be the beginning of the end for Joel Embiid. I hate to say it. Positive note for Sixers fans, though, like you said, Maxey, Edgecombe, Paul George didn't even play tonight, and they ended up pulling this one out against the Celtics, who had a bunch of guys missing too. But it's not looking good for our guy Joel Embiid, man.
No, it is not, to say the least. But VJ Edgecombe, man, who many compared to like a young Dwayne Wade, he's got that bounce in his step. Really good shooter from deep, and just shows the ability to go up and snag boards, to facilitate, to shoot, to get above the rim and cram it. What most impresses you about this young man's game? Last person that was compared to Dwayne Wade coming out of college, I feel like, was Victor Oladipo. And Oladipo, for a minute there, I mean, he had some really good years before injuries caught up to him. Edgecombe, though, I think he's got a much higher ceiling than Oladipo. Like, this was my pick months ago for Rookie of the Year. He's awesome.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of it in the Summer League. I certainly didn't guess that he was going to come out and put up 34 in his NBA debut. But you could see it in the Dwayne Wade comparisons. There are some similarities. A lot of times they just do that with like bigger guards. They're just like, that's D Wade. Dwayne Wade has never shot 13 threes in a single game in his life. I don't know. Somebody fact check me on that. But VJ Edgecombe shot 13 threes. I ran through his college stat sheet. The highest he ever shot was 7, I believe, once. So he came out firing. He made 5 of them as well. If you can get him to shoot from the perimeter, he was a good three-point shooter in college. You never know if it's going to translate. If he can do that, the sky's the limit for this kid, man, because he's the 3-and-D guy that you always want. But if he can score like this, he's not going to score 34 a game. But, I mean, anywhere in that threshold where he can kind of be a facilitator and a go-to guy in certain moments when Maxey's not out there, or, Embiid, Paul George, etc., sky's the limit for VJ Edgecombe.
Sixers have this 2 timeline going on right now. And maybe, just maybe, that old timeline of Paul George and Joel Embiid is just complementary pieces at this point. And it's Maxey, and it's all the young dudes, the VJ Edgecombes of the world, that really take this team to a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. That, to me, is kind of their ceiling, 4, 5. But you never know. They do have some talent on this team, and it's tough to say Embiid's cooked after one game, but I agree with your assessment. He is not moving amazing right now. One of the games of the night, Knicks, Cavs. Knicks win at 119-111. Donovan Mitchell, 31 points. What'd you think of the Knicks' performance tonight?
It was much less of the Jalen Brunson show that you saw with Tom Thibodeau. It was basically his usage rate was through the roof. He did have a ton of attempts tonight, but it was much more spread out. They broadened out the offense. The bench, actually put up, they were averaging 22 points a game off the bench last year. We all know their starting five is absolutely loaded, and it continues to be. They played unreal tonight. They got 35 from the bench, and they brought in Jordan Clarkson, got our guy Miles McBride.
Deuce.
If that bench can score at all, the Knicks are going to be really, really tough to beat. I know that was my pick coming out of the East, but you got to give credit to Mike Brown, and everyone was kind of saying the offense would look a little bit different. It looked more fluid, and the Cavs didn't have Darius Garland, so they weren't at full strength. But the Knicks were missing Josh Hart. Not that those two are necessarily comparable, but a good opening night for your New York Knicks.
Not a good opening night for the Detroit Pistons, who I actually believed was going to finish second in the East, and they were missing Marcus Sasser and they're missing Jay Nivey, so not the full strength Pistons that we'll see, but they struggled a bit, mainly defensively and mainly from three. They let the Bulls get whatever they wanted early. Chicago hit 11 threes. It was Vucevic who led the way for the Bulls with 28. Matas Buzelis is the player from the 2025 NBA, 2024 NBA draft. What freaking year are we in at this point? Good God, 2024 NBA draft that was not a top 10 pick that I think is going to end up being him and Stephon Castle, the two best players from that draft. He was awesome, 21 points, 6 rebounds, had one of the plays of the night with an awesome dunk. But in the end, it was just Cade Cunningham not hitting shots. 8 of 24 from the floor, missed some free throws. 23 and 10 is not a bad night on the stat sheet, but based on the eye test, he needs to be better. He needs to knock down some mid-range shots that he did not do today. Asar Thompson had 11, Jalen Duren had 15, and the Pistons lose to the Bulls. That was an upset. Another upset in the city of Salt Lake. 103-68 at this point in the night, and I am waving the white flag. Jazz beat the shit out of the Clippers, man. The retirement home over in LA, they were focused on bingo night and Jell-O because it was not basketball. The Utah Jazz just blow out the LA Clippers. Does a game one loss like this raise any white flags? Does it red flags, I should say? Does it ring any alarm bells, or is it just one of those nights?
I think I'm going to chalk it up to the latter, that it's one of those nights, because otherwise there's a serious problem going on in LA.
Or Utah's on a mission.
Utah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe Utah, the sleeper. Everybody thought
the
they were
wagon
going to finish dead last in the West, but Utah and Lauri Markkanen and the boys and Walker Kessler 7-7 with 20 tonight and 8 boards. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much to look into it. Maybe it's just because they're old. It takes a while to get going, but I mean, they had damn near every guy on the roster playing. I mean, they didn't have Bogdanovich. All the other guys, I mean, James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, they all looked like absolute dog shit. I mean, they got absolutely blown out of the gym. So you can't look too much into one game, but, that's what we do on the show.
Yeah, that's what we do. We overreact. Brandon Miller, second season, he had 25 and 7 for the Charlotte Hornets, who take down the Brooklyn Nets, who it's not may, it's will be one of the worst teams in the NBA. The question is, will the Hornets be decent? They have some pieces. Brandon Miller, Kalkbrenner had a double-double in his first game, 10 and 11. LaMelo Ball had 20. Khan Knippel, 11 points in his first game. Diabate had 13. Saloon had 10, 15 for Colin Sexton, 12 for Trey Mann off the bench. Sion James played 17 solid minutes. They got a nice little core in Charlotte, but again, it could be overreaction to just one game against truly the worst team in the NBA and maybe the worst run franchise in the NBA in the Brooklyn Nets. Magic beat the Heat 125-121. Franz Wagner, 24 points, 6 assists. Paolo Banchero had 24 and 11 himself. Desmond Bane in his first game with the Magic goes 7 of 18, knocks down 3 3-pointers. De Silva, one of my favorite bench players in the league, had 16 points, knocking down a trio of threes. You like Orlando, don't you?
I like Orlando a lot, and I like what Desmond Bane. He kind of changes just the overall offensive flow with a team that couldn't shoot a three to save their damn lives. Shot 38%, 38.7. We'll round that up to 39%. If the Orlando Magic could shoot over 35%, pencil them in as the 2 seed in the East. I'm just going to say it right now. Pencil them the fuck in. But, I mean, they played a Miami Heat team that I'm not really sure where they're going right now. Probably going to be playing the Chicago Bulls in a play-in series again. It feels like for the 30th year in a row. Tyler Hero is not playing right now, so I don't know if you could take too much from this, but they're getting used to it. They're trying to gel together with the Desmond Bane in the lineup, and they hit some threes. That's all you can ask.
One of the sleeper teams in the East was the Atlanta Hawks, one of the teams that have flashy players, but we didn't think they really fit together. It felt like a cobbled roster would be the Toronto Raptors, and that cobbled roster took down those sleepers from the East tonight. 138 for Toronto, 118 for Atlanta. They had a balanced attack, 16 from Ingram in his first game with the Raptors, 25 for RJ Barrett, 22 for Scotty Barnes, 14 for Jakob Poeltl, 13 for Emmanuel Quickley, 10 for Jamal Shed, and 21 for Grady Dick, who hit some shots today. And if Grady Dick can hit some shots, that is big because the Raptors need some spacing. For Atlanta, Jalen Johnson's awesome. He had 22 and 7, 22 for Trae Young, 20 for Porzingis, 16 for Risa Shea, and 18 for Okongwu off the bench. Hawks fall to 0-1. The Raptors pick up a win in their first night of the season. And the last game of the early slate, which is what we're touching on today's NBA After Dark, 2 more actually. Bucks beat the Wizards 133-120. Giannis a casual 37 and 14. And then the Grizzlies take down the Pelicans. Zion Williamson 27, 9, and 5 steals. And then Ja Morant 35 points. It feels like we sleep on Ja Morant a little. He was one of the faces of this league 2-3 years ago for all the finger guns and real guns and just suspensions. But no guns involved right now. It's just him scoring and him looking really, really good, man.
Yeah, it's funny because 3 years ago, I feel like most people were saying like Memphis Grizzlies, like they're in the driver's seat. That's kind of the future of the NBA, and they've kind of fallen out of, due to a number of different things, injuries, Ja Morant being on and off the court, fist fighting 15-year-olds, whatever it was. They're still a good team. He's still extremely talented. I mean, it takes you 2 seconds to watch a game and the guy jumps over somebody and dunks on him. And he can shoot the ball well. He can facilitate. He can do it all. Tonight it was scoring. It's a team to watch out for. I don't know what their ceiling is. I mean, truly with how loaded that the West is right now. But they're going to be a fun team. Definitely, if they're on League Pass, that's a guaranteed watch from me.
And then finally, we saved the best 2 performances for last. And granted, Edgecombe was awesome. Tyrese Maxey had 40, but Victor Wembanyama had 40, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Wembanyama had 40 and 15 in his season debut. He was 15 of 21 from the floor. Had just some ridiculous dunks that no human being should be able to do. He looks so damn strong on his 7'4", 235-pound frame. Like 7'4", 235. That is wiry thin, but he appears to be pretty strong out there and does not appear to have a ton of weaknesses in his game. The Spurs were a plus 31 when he was on the floor. Stephon Castle added in 22. Keldon Johnson at 11 off the bench, 15 for Dylan Harper in his debut. And the fact that Victor Wembanyama went for 40 and 15, it completely overshadowed the debut of Cooper Flagg that was very good. 10 points, 10 rebounds. Shooting percentage, not great, just 4 of 13, but that's Cooper Flagg's first game. And on a normal night, you'd focus on Flagg, but his team lost by, let's do the math here, 125-92. They lost by 33 points. Watch out for the San Antonio Spurs. They have a very, very good team at the top, and they have a deep team, frankly. More games from the late night slate. The Phoenix Suns take down the Sacramento Kings 120-116. Devin Booker led the way with 31 for Phoenix. And Anthony Edwards, the leading scorer in this NBA, I guess not the debut week because Luka had 43 on Tuesday night. But Anthony Edwards went for 41 points and 7 rebounds as the Wolves survived a pesky Portland team 118-114. This is NBA After Dark. We're going to be giving you the recaps of the association after dark. Shows will be up in the morning. Check us out on Shorts. Hit that subscribe. We very much appreciate you. I'm out.